I don't know what to think about that or what to take from it. It suddenly makes the virus seem more dangerous that such a small amount can do so much damage, or I don't know what to think.
I think it would be, I think that the idea that it conjures up is, imagine you could gather it all together in one place and then just take this can of Coke and jettison it off into space and solve the world's problems. Unfortunately, as we're all too aware over experiencing the last year of the pandemic, it's not possible to do that, and we have to go through all sorts of far more rigorous ways of trying to keep the viral numbers down by stopping it spreading. That's the way that it spreads, is through contact between people. If you deny it a host, then it can't spread. So it would be great to think we could just get rid of all the virus in the world, but unfortunately it's going to take a little bit more work than that.
The other thing it makes me think is, we always hear, when we're talking about space, people say, you can't fathom how big space is. Our feeble human brains can't imagine the size and the distances involved. We also can't fathom how small stuff is, can we?
Exactly. I think that's the thing. Like, when you tell someone there's 200 quadrillion of something, you think that is going to be a huge volume. It's going to be at least an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's the other go-to measure of volume that people use, right? But because they're so small, like the SARS-CoV-2 particle is probably 1,000 times thinner than a human hair. That's our usual metric for thinness as well. And it's incredibly thin, and it's so hard to imagine because we just don't experience those sorts of scales. We don't experience astronomically fast or astronomically big, but we don't also experience microscopically small in our everyday lives. So it's really hard to imagine just how small these particles are.
And then the other one would have to come up and write a bigger number. You had to do something novel or different when you went up to the board, okay? You couldn't just add 1 to the previous number or add a 0 to the end of it. You had to do something new and different and a little bit novel.